we got to the spy in the green hat, and you may be aware, right, that in the last Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie there was prominently a spy with a green hat, and this sort of like abiding sort of sea of emotions that I was like pitched upon as I was watching this movie is, when's the fucking spy with the green hat gonna
Many
show
of
up?
my notes are just there has been no green hat thus far.
At various points, people wear hats, and I'm like, that's not green!
Oh, not only at various points, I started a hat count before green hat is noticed. And I'm not going to spoil that number for you now, but suffice to say, it is high. And of course, we're introduced with a guy who is wearing a hat which is not green.
Yeah, immediately I'm thrown, I'm confused, I don't know what's going on. I'm pointing at the screen, I'm saying, well, who is this? What's happening? When are the Na'vi arriving? I don't know anything.
The spy in the green hat, the way of water. Yeah. Looks like San Diego to me, but I'm pulling that entirely out of my ass.
The boys are at the fair.
Yeah.
They are. And they're chasing after this older guy in a grey hat who escapes them by the simple expedient.
Grey, write that down. Grey hat.
There will be a briefing on the colour of every hat in this movie until we get to the green hat. So they're chased after, and we get a fight scene to the sort of like opening titles.
Yeah, we get the traditional Man from U.N.C.L.E. The traditional Man from U.N.C.L.E. shit title sequence. It looks like it's buffering.
Yeah. As Solo and Kuryakin are like looking at her, they're interrupted by the arrival of one of my favorite things in a 60s spy movie, which is 4 dudes, all in hats, all black, by the way, in the classic Mercedes evil spy car.
Yes, the goon car, baby.
The Fintail, I think it's like a W108 or 9. It's the car that says evil spies. Like, a guy is going to lean out of the window of this with a submachine gun and like shoot at you wildly. She's sort of like, she's lining up shots on him, and she is interrupted by Italian Americans, bracket stereotypical.
That's right. I get a lot out of this scene.
This one is a half dozen of these guys. And essentially what they do, they're all wearing hats. None of them are green.
Oh, you best believe none of these fucking hats are green.
And one of them goes, all right, just go in there and do some slapstick bullshit on him. And Elia has what I can only describe as a sort of a baffling, like a move, right? A tactic.
Yeah.
Where he takes off his hat, his little longshoreman's cap, not green, by the way, throws it up in the air, and I don't know why, but the guy just like riddles the hat with bullets and is
genuinely
stun-locked, shooting at nothing.
Multiple seconds.
At this point, it's 54 minutes 23, giving up hope of a green hat appearing. Many counts on the hat, but then they go to the island. They infiltrate the island.
The man in the green hat, they call him.
The man in the green hat arrives by helicopter. This is Strago's boss, Mr. Thayer.
He's from Thrush Central. The first time we've seen a proper high up in Thrush, I think.
Yeah.
I cannot stress enough. This is 1 hour into an hour and a half movie. We get the man in the green hat actually shows up. He gets out of the helicopter.
Let me tell you about this hat.
Hat isn't.
It's fucking barely green.
Oh my god. It's grey. It's fucking grey. And the worst thing is, he is sitting directly next to a guy who never speaks, never seen again, who is wearing the brightest blue hat you can imagine. If you looked at this guy and if you looked at these two guys and said one of these guys has a hat and color related nickname, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's the guy in the
man in the blue hat
and his friend dipshit Paul or whatever. But no, this is the man in the green hat, which is not that green, and unnamed character. This guy's bright blue Smurf ass hat is entirely unremarkable, but everyone looking at this grey hat with a feather in it, the feather isn't green either, is like blinded by the fucking green wavelengths coming off of this. This is a green ass hat.
They're like fucking dogs. They can't see the colours.
Looks shit. And he only wears it in his arrival scene. He takes off immediately and it never comes back.
Off. I'm definitely not having a day off as a waitress is putting a flower garland around.
That's not a joke, listeners. That literally happens.
He wears it for the entire rest of the movie also. Why is call him a spy in the fucking lay? Like, what is happening here?
Looking at this guy not wearing a hat and being like, yo, that's the man in the green hat.
I call him the man in the green hat. Why?
Why do they call him this? One statistic that I want to end with is that the number of hats seen before we see a green hat on anyone, 49. And I counted all of them. 49 non-green hats.
The man in 49 not green hats.
At least it was a nice round number, but it was the 50th hat seen on screen.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Although it depends how you count it. Maybe the bright blue one would be the 50th.